Hello everyone and welcome to a trade of the day for the 3rd of December. My name's Tom, I'm part of the trading support team here at Trendsignal. And I just wanted to pop on quickly ahead of a crypto session that we've got at 12:30 to talk a little bit about the crypto markets. They've been going, let's use the frank word, absolutely ballistic over the last couple of weeks. We've had just a flurry of activity on a range of different cryptocurrencies. I wanted to give you a quick peek into how we spot these trades using the Trendsignal software. How we exit them, very important. I think it's the thing that most traders are missing is how to actually get out of these parabolic rallies once they're starting to lose steam. And basically just give you a vibe for the session that we're going to have coming up. There's only a sneak peek. We're not going to go through everything. There's a ton of settings that you can set up on here. You can look at trailing stops if you're looking to be a little bit more aggressive in your management. You can look at alternating the speed at which these entry signals are generated. So if you're somebody who wants to be in the markets constantly, you can go for a fast setting and look on the hourly, the 4-hourly, and the daily. If you're somebody who's looking for long-term investment, you can stick it on the weekly and monthly and just put this in like a spot portfolio in a ledger or in your Coinbase or something similar. But two markets I want to look at really, just because they've had so much activity on them. One of them is XRP and the other one is XLM. Now we have a default list of currencies that we like to trade. It's using a Binance feed, so there's actually tons of these available. Let me give you a quick look into that. So regardless of your flavor of coin, unless it's some absolutely unheard of minor coin, it's probably going to be on here. We've got pretty much everything in the top 100 available to trade through Charting Center, the third-party platform that we use for all of our tools. That's enough jabbering. Let's have a look at the actual trading opportunities that were generated over the last couple of days. I'm going to remove this for now, and we'll come back to this and explain that. That's how we generate exits. But essentially, when you're looking for a cryptocurrency entry, it actually works quite similar to something you might already be familiar with if you looked into us, the sniper strategy. Essentially, we have modified the tools so that they are able to cope in such a high volatility environment. And when I say high volatility, I don't want to scare you. Volatility means opportunity, but you should definitely be cautious. Unless you have the proper tools to manage that volatility, then it can go against you as well. Luckily, we're going to show you exactly how we manage that. We have a couple of trading opportunities that have generated over the last couple of days. We'll focus on a few of them. You see this one here, we have a green sniper disc. A green sniper disc tells us that there's a potential entry into this market. And there's a few letters underneath, H4, D, and charting pattern. Now, charting pattern, hopefully fairly self-explanatory. The software that we have analyzes the candlestick patterns beforehand and tells you that this is favorable, not only from a momentum change perspective, but also in terms of the chart structure that's come before it. Now, as you go through the courses, we can teach you to analyze these charting patterns yourself and decide. For somebody who's brand new, we think it's a little bit too complicated. We do the work for you, and you can use that. Essentially, if you see it supported by a charting pattern, it's like swimming with the stream. You're expecting this to go a little bit further than any other trade would. This actually triggered on two different time frames. You have a potential entry on the H4, that means the 4-hourly, and also the end of day time frame. So the way you can tell essentially how to manage these trades, let's talk a little bit more about the entry first. 3 things that you need. First of all, you need a sniper. That could be red, that could be green, any type of sniper. And then you need 2 change colors. This bottom one is called the Trendsignal line. It goes from red to green and green to red. And you have the one here, which is called the vector average. Essentially what these are doing is they're looking for sharp changes in momentum. We're looking for an impulse up. So we can essentially ride on the coattails. We don't want to be Mystic Meg. We don't want to be trying to predict the future. What we want to see is a turn starting to happen, getting on the train, arriving at our destination, and doing what we like to do. So you need all 3 of these, by the way. You can see here we have a change color here, which if you were using them individually could mean a sell. Well, the market, it does go a little bit lower, but you'd just be holding basically a flat market for a few hours. Same here, you see the change color. We still don't have a sniper. It's not strong enough. We don't want to waste our time taking positions that are just going to go flat and carry on for hours when we can just rotate through these markets and take something with a little bit more impulse. I keep using that word. So yeah, that's the idea. Essentially, we look for these 3 different indicators to enter. And then, once you're in this trade, that's fantastic. But how do we actually exit? What's our game plan? But there's 2 ways that we manage this. Let's talk on the chart first. We have the same change colors. Much as these detect momentum is coming into these markets and we can hop on, this is telling us that the train is slowing down. It's arriving at the station. When you have these change colors come through, that's telling you that basically it's time to hop off and board another train. And as I say, we have over 100 markets at this point on the crypto. We got our first one back here. Okay, and to be fair with you, that first one tells you pretty much most of the story. From there, the market's completely flat. we hold on to it for a few more hours just to see if we can scrape anything extra out of it. We don't get too much, and so we close on the change color here. So if I bring up the default setting, you'll see that our initial target was set to this green line here. We've given it a little bit of room to breathe. Quite important on a volatile market. Give it room to breathe. It's going to zigzag up and down. You just need to make sure that the first impulse you catch is just strong enough. And you'll see that there's a slight outperformance. If you were exiting at the active stop, you'd have made a little bit more cash in there. But to be honest with you, this is something that closed out within an hour. So if you are somebody who's looking at trading across multiple markets, you don't have a particular favorite, then what you could have done, instead of waiting for hours and hours and hours, is you could have took your capital and put it into something else. Something I want to stress, you'll see a lot of opportunities where this active stop is technically the best exit, or the better exit rather. You're never going to time the exact top or the best exit. But the point of these is to take manageable chunks out of the market so that you can open yourself back up to look at other positions. We'll go through a few more. So we have one down here on the 4 hourly and the daily again. And I mean, just because of the amounts of cash coming into these markets, I mean, XRP, it's done something like 4 or 5x over the last month. So there's a lot of liquidity. The candles look absolutely ridiculous. If I zoom back, this looks reasonable. We've got essentially this kind of channel bouncing up and down. We're looking to hit towards the top of it, which we do. We hit that within about 2 hours. But if you are somebody who's actively managing, then you can push this quite a lot further. So our default exit was around about 7 o'clock. If you were holding this till 10 in the morning the next day, you made significantly more than if you just gone for the active exit. Sometimes this happens. It's worth considering what's going on in the market when you're choosing which one of these to go for. But look, if you took a small profit out of this and rotated into another play, perfectly fine. You're not going to go broke by taking money on the table. Sometimes it's worth just coming out and rotating, locking in that profit as such. Same again down here. We have our initial target. Again, we get it quickly. We're out of this market. We're rotating into another one. This took us about 4 hours. But if you're following this to the active stop, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. It's a stairway to heaven kind of situation with this particular trade. I'm going to have to zoom out here a little bit. All the way from down here, we exited here on the default settings. This is mostly what beginners use. If you're actively managing this trade, it would have taken you a fair few hours. You're looking at the best part of a day, actually a little bit longer. But what a jump, 1.42 to 191. Now, a lot of people were nervous with leverage in these markets. So if you're trading this on spot, that is still an appreciable percentage gain. If you're trading this with a leverage platform, then you are going to be loving life. And there's a few of them we can talk to you about. Just let us know. And I want to make sure that this isn't, you're not getting the impression that this is some sort of crystal ball. We don't always get it right. We do have losers. This one here, bad example of that. This was another winner with a slight outperformance on that active stop. But if you look here, we go for a short. We just miss our target, unfortunately. The active stop is above our entry, and we never hit our price target. So this one is a loser. We have them. We don't care. We move on. And in this case, actually, a few hours later, you got into this trade, and this would have made you a fantastic little bit of profit. Let's have a look at XMR as well, because I do want to show you a short. We're looking at trading both sides of these markets. It's important to say a lot of people get very, very confident about their trading abilities in crypto when the market is in up-only mode. You need to be able to short these markets as well if you want to make sustainable returns from this. And I'll give you one example. Just here you can see we actually go for quite a large distance on this. That's because it's only a daily trade, so this is something we're looking to hold for a longer time. And you can see it progresses over the hours, and we end up coming out sometime between 5 and 6 o'clock. So that's a trade started at 9, done by 5, basically a work day, but you don't have to sit there working at it. You just hold this position and you check back. And I mean, to be fair, you don't even have to check back. You can set these targets and it'll come out automatically for you. And in the case you decided, you know what, I think I can get a bit more out of this, you went for the active stop. In this example, it basically came out at the same level. So a really nice short there. And of course, we've been generating entries on these and other markets as well, going back since we created this program, which has been a very long time now, actually. I mean, if I go to the weekly and monthly quickly, you can see we've been trading these markets for a long time. Now, what you will notice, this is on the weekly, it's on slow. This won't generate many entries. This level is mostly used to look for longer term positions. But we've been trading these markets for a long time. I'd love for you to join us at 12:30. So hopefully we'll see you then.
Want to learn how to find profitable trades like this? Register for our free trading webinar and discover the strategies that turn you into a confident trader. Prefer a more hands-on approach? Schedule a one-to-one walkthrough with a senior trader. See our software in action and get those questions answered and take control of your trading journey.